So you've learned a bit about how empathy plays a role in the end-to-end design process, and we've discussed the mindset. Now let's talk about what are we actually looking for? When you go out into the field, you're looking for pain points. That's a very important thing. Where do things break down along the end-to-end journey or a path that someone takes within an experience? This includes a number of different elements. The first one is user torture. Anytime that you see someone down on the floor trying to find the power outlet, they're really sort of physically and intellectually struggling potentially on trying to understand something. We call that user torture. The other thing is conflict. Where do you see either can be conflict in expectations or communication? Where does conflict play a role and appear within a process? What kind of obstacles stand in the way of people completing a task or communicating with one another? And then workarounds. Earlier when we talked about all the people that had brought back pads and footrests to work in order for their chairs to work, those are called workarounds. And those are opportunities that we have to solve a problem directly. Repurposing. In this example, you see a sort of plastic bottle over an outlet. This is an outlet that's outdoors. It's getting exposed to the elements. So this sort of a quick and easy fix of using a plastic bottle to create a cover for an outlet. One other thing that we look for are wear patterns. When you look at the environment, where are there scratches and abrasions and places where you see that people are frequently cutting a path or maybe running into a door because they're carrying equipment? What are those things that give us a clear indication of how the environment is impacted by the role that people are playing in that space? So this is a great list of pain points to look for when you're out doing your observations. The other thing that you want to consider are disconnects. So disconnects are where the promise of something is really disconnected from the reality of the situation. The example on the left is the Chicago Riverwalk. These are some images that one of my students at the Institute of Design took a couple years ago. It shows this great banner that describes this lovely space, all the places that you can go on the Riverwalk, the offerings of different kinds of restaurants and music and bars. And then on the right is the reality. So the sidewalk was closed down. There's high voltage areas that you need to avoid. There's trash. And it's really in a state of disrepair. Now, since these photographs were taken, they've actually finished more areas of the Riverwalk, and it is quite nice at this point. But at the time this was done, there was truly a disconnect between the promise of the experience and the reality. So you're looking for those types of things where you see people struggling with, they thought that it was going to be this way, and then they get into it, and it's completely different than what they imagined. In this next exercise, we're going to capture pain points, and these can include user torture, conflict, obstacles, workarounds, repurposing, wear patterns. Capture the pain points in an image and give them a caption and the type of pain point it is and upload them to the site.